When working with configurations, it is likely that updates are required in the future to accommodate design changes. This might include adding new components or adjusting mates. Make sure all referenced objects are updated as you intend when making these configuration changes. The design of this outlet strip was updated to include a new GFCI option. When using a GFCI, the number of standard outlets is reduced by 2. A new 10-outlet option is also available, along with a breaker becoming standard on all non-GFCI units. Part configurations have already been updated with the required changes, but the assembly requires an update. To update assembly configuration inputs, modify table parameters as required. Create the GFCI configuration by adding a new row into the rating table, naming it 15A GFCI. Configure the GFCI and suppression in the rating table accordingly for all 3 configurations. Add the new 10-outlet configuration. Update parameters in the number of outlets table using the pull-down menus. The cover uses different cutouts based on configuration. Configure the cover in the rating table to show the correct type of outlet cutout based on outlet type. Switch to the GFCI configuration. Hide the outlet pattern temporarily and mate the GFCI onto the cover. Once mated, add the associated mate to the rating table and set suppression accordingly. When the GFCI configuration is active, a fasten mate displays in red. This will be addressed later in the video. 2 patterns are used to control the quantity of outlets for each outlet style. Create a second outlet pattern for the GFCI option. With the pattern dialog open, right-click on Instances and select Configure with Number of Outlets. The second pattern now displays in the Number of Outlets table. Rename the pattern to GFCI pattern and update the configuration table to reflect the correct number of outlets when a GFCI is in use. Both pattern suppression states need to be added to the rating table. Select both patterns, right-click, and select Configure Suppression with Rating. Update both patterns to reflect the correct suppression state. The final design update is to change the breaker from an option to a standard offering with non-GFCI configurations. Expand the overflow menu for the Include Breaker table and select Delete. Add the breaker and fasten mate to the rating table and set suppression state accordingly. With all configuration updates completed, the configuration selector shows 2 pull-down menus, one for the rating and the other for number of outlets. Each pull-down menu contains the configuration names and controls parameters listed in the corresponding table within the configuration flyout. To activate a specific configuration, select it from the pull-down menus. The assembly updates accordingly. The active configuration is also indicated inside the configuration flyout by a blue highlight.